Resistance. Because if we fight, we might lose. But if we don't fight, we've already lost. Parra!
They've fixed the music. They've changed the music over the years. It's
different music.
It's devastating. It's absolutely devastating. I was like, this is going to be hilarious. We're going to be pissing ourselves like we did the first time, and they've gone and they've bloody changed it. Look, welcome everyone. First of all, thanks to our sponsors. This is the Tuesday night Station Hotel. Oh, sorry, Hayden. Go on. I wish we got it more those years ago. This is the Station Hotel Talking Parra Tuesday night live show. Thanks to our sponsors. Beach Jerky, Eurowork, Bay Vista, Spot on Hose and Fittings, JD's Buyers Agents, X-Visory, Paraleagues, Archibald Racing, Time for a Chat, wow, Crown Property Finance, Riverside Brewing Co, Non-Stop Landscapes, and ZMS Trophies, and of course, the Station Hotel. Yep, you've already commented. It is our 5-year anniversary. I'm going to claim a technicality here. Obviously, 2020 says the hat, says the logo. We did start the page in 2020. We didn't start podcasting until 2021. We started 4 blokes, no idea what they were talking about, no idea what to do. Look, a couple of blokes that thought they knew what to do, but when you look back at it, it was very amateur. But here we are celebrating. Before we get into it and welcome Matt back, obviously, let's start by doing a giveaway. It's a special night, guys. Like I said, we are having a celebration. So share the podcast. Once you've shared it, comment, shared, Jez will star that. What we're going to do tonight, because I'm feeling very generous and very loving to all the fans, is we're going to give away one of these multicultural jerseys. How about that? So share, comment, shared. You must be here to win. If you don't, we'll just keep drawing it until we get a winner. So hopefully that doesn't take too long, but they look pretty cool. I love the yellow theme there. So worn in round 15 at home, I believe. Matt, welcome back. You've been off on for quite a while. Special show, you're back. I just want to know, have you discovered the meaning to life yet?
Not really. Still a Parra fan, unfortunately. But yeah, it's been a good break, and thanks to everyone that reached out. But yeah, I'm back. And you'll see a lot more of me, hopefully.
Oh, if you pass the test, it's But we're a professional podcast now. We're not that amateur shit from before, As you said in your video, look at these amateurs. Well, some of us are professional, you know. Yeah, I have rocked the singlet. I used to rock the singlet a lot back in 2022. I don't know why I did that, but well, this was it. This wasn't one of the first ever podcasts we did, but as you can see, Hayden looks like he's still 14. I hadn't discovered the wonderfulness of a second marriage and fast food again, and I lived at the gym. Matt, you're looking very similar. Actually, you've dropped a lot of weight since then. So
Yeah.
And Troy, I've got no comments, to be honest, Troy. The setup's amateur. You're looking more like before you had to change into that magical uniform called Santa Claus and then become Santa Claus. So you're looking like the start of the Santa Claus movie before he turns into Santa Claus. But it's obviously quite a long time ago. Look, let's get straight into it. Like I said, obviously, comment, shared. We'll draw that winner at the end. I've got these in no particular order whatsoever. But obviously, on Saturday night, it was another loss for the Parramatta Eels, going down 36 to 14 points to the Warriors. Scored the first try, actually made quite a good start. Still didn't lead that first 20 minutes with the Warriors getting a couple of tries, but we were in this one. I copped a lot of shit for saying this, but the effort was there for quite a while. But the simple fact is you can't win a footy game if you can't control the ruck. And we just couldn't control the ruck. Our forwards got dominated. No surprise, our forwards got dominated by a big Warriors pack. They were too fast, too big, too strong, and we never got them on their back. They seem to go to their back every time. They'll get quick play the balls and they'll roll them to us. And, once again, people coming at Mitch in the comments, people coming at Volkman, even though Volkman scored 2 tries, at Joe Ash and stuff like that. And it was very hard for those guys. Every time they ran the ball, they essentially got whacked. And, to Ronald's, I guess, courage and Joe Ash's courage as well, they took those hits. But Mitch, at his age, obviously a lot older and had a lot of injuries. He obviously wasn't running the ball as much, ran the ball 6 times for 40 metres. I don't blame him. So I ever think we were going to win that game? I didn't. I honestly, even when we scored the first try and started so well, even when we come back into it, I thought we're not going to win this game. There was a point, there was a pivotal moment we'll get to later, which was the Volkman penalty, but it changed the momentum massively, but I still never thought we were going to win the game. Matt, we'll give you the first say because you're fresh back. Your thoughts on the game?
Disappointing. When Warriors came out, I said in one of the group chats, this is going to be a bloodbath. Just watching their forwards warm up was like nothing compared to our guys. Like our forwards was always going to get dominated in that game, and we saw them come off the back fence, and it'd be good to have someone in our team that could possibly do that. So, but yeah, as I said, disappointed. I never expected us to win. I think it was the first time this year I've actually tipped against us. But yeah, it's disappointing the form we're going in. But in saying that, yes, there's a lot of injuries, but next man up mentality needs to start happening.
Yeah, fair shout. Your thoughts, Aiden?
Yeah, it was a little bit disappointing there towards the end. But I think around the 25th minute mark, I believe we were never going to win this game as well, even though momentum late started to go a little bit in our favour. I saw a bit of hands on hips, and that didn't impress me. I saw a lot of players struggling to get on side. And, it's something that we used to see a lot of, and I don't think we've seen it recently. So to see that and see our forwards trying to get back on side, that sort of thing, as we said, we'll get to it later, that crucial penalty. Feels like the ref is really against us. Jason's not here tonight, so I'll say it. We took the NRL to court, and ever since that moment, we've just had calls go against us. But we definitely need to improve on discipline because some of those calls you can't argue against, but there was at least 2 that were absolute bullshit.
Yeah, some of the 6 agains, like I said, if you're not winning the ruck, you're going to give away 6 agains, and it's a good tactic to give them away. But unfortunately, when you're versing, how have you still got Scooey Moy?
I've only got this is the third last one. Remember May 3rd.
Third last one. You only got 6, didn't you?
Yeah. So I only have one a night, mate. One on the podcast.
Tranley has one a night too. 1 carton. Troy, your thoughts?
Yeah. Just sick of losing at home, obviously. But
we saw your drunken video. Don't worry.
Nah, look, it was just all those games built up frustration and started off pretty well. Ronald Bolton got the first try, and I thought it was going all right there, and then just some silly reads in defence, and then obviously the penalties against us and stuff like that, and then the Riley going off early as well probably didn't help the rotation of the bench too much. But then I thought there was a chance where it got back to, I think, 18-14. And I thought maybe possibly it could get back in our favour, but then that penalty happened as well against Ronald Volkman. So, just very disappointing to lose.
Yeah, shout. We'll get to also the controversial thing too. We'll go to the player of the match first because you just mentioned him about 6 times in your talk there, Troy. I just realised I haven't done half the graphics for tonight. I had to go back to the office for the first time in 2 years yesterday. I didn't have to. I chose to, and it put me behind the ball. I'm so used to working from home every day. So poor me. Everyone's like, oh, poor Adam. He had to go to an office. But anyway, I haven't got half the graphics done. But Volkman was the man of the match, voted by us. He also took out the fan player of the match, which I actually never got up. But 2 tries, 80 run meters, 1 line break, and 5 tackle breaks. Look, he missed 6 tackles. Like I said earlier, Mitch made 22 tackles as well, missed 2. There's a lot of missed tackles. Our second rowers just quite simply aren't protecting our playmakers, and they need to protect him a lot more. Mitch is getting into making his tackles. Volkman, obviously not a solid defender, but all the good teams, their second rowers protect their halves, and that's just not happening for us. So those are 2 positions or 2 players, because we've got the same starting team this week, and 1 player in particular, obviously, that needs to step up this week and really make sure they do their job there. But he took out the man of the match, the player of the match for the fans as well. And in our 3-2-1 this year, the leaderboard, he took out the 3. Joash took the 2, 175 run meters. And I thought Junior Paul was quite good. He probably didn't get the praise off people he deserved, but he stepped it up against the Warriors pack when someone had to. Probably stopped us getting beat by a lot more. Ran for 151 metres, was poor against Manly, was brilliant against the Bulldogs, and found some form again. And it's no surprise those 3 there. Obviously, Paulo's played 2 really good out of 3 of the last 3 games. Volkman's been good in the last 3. Joash has been good in the last 3, and they're actually at the top now. So Joash on 7 points, Volkman on 6, Paulo on 5. Ongi hasn't played a game for, 5 weeks, and he's still in 4th position there. He's only just been knocked off up the top. So that kind of says something that no one's been really consistent with their form, does it? Because we had some breakaway leaders last year. But who was your man of the match, Troy?
Oh, look, yeah, it was Ronald. I just think, the last 3 weeks has been our best, and he's really given this number 6 jersey a real good hard crack. And Jonah will find it hard to get back into this side, I reckon, because I think at the moment Ronald's in front of him. And look, there was a time there where he did miss a tackle. He got bumped off, but he got straight back up and tried to make the next tackle as well. Unfortunately, they scored, but he could have just got bumped off and not got back up. But no, he did, and just his competitiveness to score that second try as well.
Fair shout. I don't know why is my mic better now, Jez? Just give us a nod. He's sending me messages saying your mic's fuzzy. I don't know what's going on with it, eh? I have no idea. I'll play with some stuff, turn it down a bit.
Maybe put it sideways like Matt's might sound better.
I'm not that trendy. At all. But anyway, well, it is a throwback, and I said we're pretty ordinary back in the day. Hasn't been dropped. He got a 1-week suspension for a hip drop in Cup. Well, he was in Cup last week, so interesting. I could say a lot about that one, but I'm not going to. Hayden, man of the match.
Yeah, honourable mention to Junior Paula. I thought he had a pretty good game. It's weird because he's been inconsistent, but he's been really good in some games, really bad in other games. So it's sort of been week in, week out. But I was impressed with him on the weekend. But Ronald McDonald for mine scored that first try. Big game from him.
Have we got a new player?
Oh, we've got to come up with a nickname, guys. Ronald McDonald, our number 6. Yeah, my man of the match.
I think we've got enough nicknames. We've got Kit Kat. We've got Motor Prike. I don't think we need to get any new ones there. I've heard some of the stuff you said.
We actually tried to start a Motor Prike chant the other day, if anyone could hear it.
Is that when you dropped 2 balls? You really encouraged him there, didn't you? Matt, your player of the match?
Yeah, obviously, Volkman, he's probably been the player of the match, the last 3-4 weeks since he's come in. So he's really taken that 6 jersey and ran with it. And he just does not give up. He does not stop. And he's pretty much the only one at the moment that is always there chasing breaks and getting it done. So, Volk.
Yeah, interesting one. It's a good conversation to have, and we might as well go into it now. Ronald Volkman, he's come into the team. He's off contract at the end of the year. There's reports he'll go to the Super League. Lorenzo Talatina obviously coming through. Joash Papali'i wanting to play 6, a chance of playing 6 as well. Who's your 6 going into next year based on current form? Is it the Volcano, or is it Joash Papali'i, or is it, I like that one, Hayden? Who would your 6 be going in next year still? Obviously, we haven't seen Lorenzo at this level yet as well.
Yeah, we haven't seen Lorenzo. I feel like you boys have kept more of an eye on him than me, and I know he is our future for the club in that 6 jersey. But I mean, you can't take away Joash from fullback right now. It's so hard to put him out of the starting lineup when Isaiah Iongi
Next year, we're talking about next year.
Well, I think next year you give Joash that shot. I think that you've now shown that in opportunities where Lorenzo might have been ready to play, that he wasn't looked at this year as a decision by Riles. So, look, he is part of the future plan. I don't know if the future does come next year, so I'd say Joash.
Yep, Troy?
On current form, I'd go Ronald Volkman. But I have heard that he might be going back to the Warriors, so he might not be there. But
that was April Fool's rumor that went terribly.
Yeah, well, they told me in May, so I don't know. But anyway, Ronald Volkman at the
you're
moment.
a bit slow, so it just took a while to get to you.
I'm old, remember? I'm old.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I just had another birthday on the weekend. I'm old. I'm getting old. But Ronald Volkman at the moment.
Yep. Yeah. Matt?
Well, you know my thoughts already, Lorenzo. I would pretty much have him in there now somewhere. Just to get him some experience, even if it's like 14 off the bench while Riley's out.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't go with that, to be honest. It does concern. We'll get to next week's team soon, but this week's team, that does concern a bit. Let's move on to our defender of the week. And our defender of the week this week was Troy Warner. 24 beers, 100% completion rate, 0 spews. That was Troy's happy birthday post. I didn't actually chuck it up this week, but our defender of the week was actually Talon De Silva. Played some big minutes, 42 tackles, only missed 2 in the middle against a very dominant Warriors pack. Was a great defensive performance. Obviously took a lot out of him in attack and biggest minutes he's played all year. Thoughts on his defensive performance, Hayden?
Yeah, good game from Talon, forced to play big minutes with Riley going off. And, you know, Riley, I just don't know if he should have been playing with that injury. I know it was season on the line stuff, but that sternum injury was obviously pretty bad, and now it's gone from bad to worse. So we'll see Talon playing more minutes, and it was good to see him against a dominant pack because the Warriors have some big forwards, and 2 missed tackles is pretty solid as well.
Yeah. Matt, can Talon play 80? Is he an 80-minute hooker these days, or did that 80-minute performance take it out the end of the game for him?
I think he's fit enough, but I don't know. Like he came across as wanting to be a starting hooker. We know Riley actually was a part of the conversation, and he said that he doesn't mind starting off the bench if Talon wants a starting spot, but obviously Riles doesn't go that way. But yeah, I think he can play 80, but I think it will take it out of him in attack if he's doing too many defensive stuff.
The funny thing for me is
his pace is ridiculous out of WR.
And that's what I've always liked him, as that impact. And the funny thing for me is, like, I've always been a big fan of, with his 6-man bench, I've always been a fan of 2 hookers. We all know that. Like, I've always loved the 2-hooker rotation, going back as far as, like, Brad Drew and all that kind of stuff, PJ Marsh, like Mark Riddell, like, you know, even like Matt Keating and Kevin Kingston and stuff in 2009. You got to find that balance. And the way the game's changed, it's hard to find that balance. So for me, I'm all for pushing Riley when they're both available as far as we can and seeing if we can get 80 out of him. If the game's on the line and we need that spark, that's when you bring Talon on. But the hard thing for that is you're essentially holding one of your bench spots and not bringing someone on. And with the injuries we have in our forward pack, they're quite simply not fit enough that we need those extra forwards to come on. And it's an interesting one because, like, you can play your 2 forwards, you can keep a second row there. I think the way you get around is having someone a bit more versatile that can play second row and front row in your starting team and can make that switch. So obviously Jack Williams is that. If we find a way to move Jack Williams to the middle for a bit from the second row and then bring a second row and we can keep that going, Troy, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's the way that the game's changing, isn't it? It's getting faster, and don't know if many hookers can play 80 minutes these days. And I haven't seen Talon do it yet, even at the Tigers. So, yeah, he's more of an impacty sort of hooker. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Fair shout
Could
there.
you potentially put Riley 13?
I tried it a bit last year. I guess it kind of doesn't help the rotation because you're still activating your second hooker there, but they tried it a bit at the back end of last year, that kind of Brendan Smith 13 front rower kind of role as well. And obviously, it's pretty obvious to everyone watching our team at the moment. There's some blokes pushing through some injuries. Like Junior's knees cooked. That's obvious to everyone. Adokar's rib cartilage is obviously still no good. We had Will out there on the weekend, not 100%. We had, Riley clearly not 100%, and we saw the result there. Makes you wonder how many other blokes are carrying little niggling injuries, like Walker as well. Obviously had the knock the week before and he played. So, it's hard to obviously judge them there, but you can't obviously move someone like Riley to 13 when he's been bashed up as much as he has. Because let's be honest, our hookers have been bashed up all year because our forward pack hasn't been able to match it defensively with other teams. And that's why we're losing games. How quick the game is, our inability to slow the ruck down and win a play the ball and win a ruck has meant that our hookers have been the punching line in the middle. And, there's one more comment in the comments about me talking about hookers. I swear to God.
Well, we saw how much using Walker as a battering ram pretty much gassed him. 30 seconds after half time, we had one set of 6 and he done 3 hit ups and then couldn't get back on side when we got the kick because he was too gassed. So it was 30 seconds after half time. And the people sitting around me was like, look at Walker, he's cooked. So I don't know. It took a lot of spark out of him as well.
Hang on, Sam. Let's address this. One like and I'll come back. Mate, every time I've hit you up, you've said no. You're in your own little world up there. You think you're above us now with your 20,000, 30,000 followers, whatever it is. You Queensland jerk, and you won't want to come back. Mate, I'll send you the link now. You can pop on tonight, but you just think, he's so much. I'm joking. He doesn't think he's so much better than us. I had to say it. He always does his own show on a Tuesday night, which I'm assuming he's doing. If not, Joel, I forgot his fucking name. Joel, whatever your name is, Mr. League of Inches, send us a message. I'll send you the link and you can pop on to talk some shit. So, but you weren't an original. You come in halfway through. But the funniest thing, let's get to podcast memories before we continue. The funniest thing ever was the fact is when Troy was delusional and he had his tongue that far up the club's ass, right? Remember that, Troy? Remember you wouldn't say a bad thing about Parramatta? You loved everything that much. And we had to say,
no, I don't.
You're in denial, Troy. We had to push the red button and stuff like that.
Oh, the panic button.
I was going to say, have we got the panic button loaded up?
The panic button?
We don't. But that's what happened. You were that and you just wouldn't say a bad thing about the club. So you brought Joel on for backup because we were just feeding you left, right, and centre, absolutely feeding you. And you turned around and thought Joel was going to be support to you because we were India. And after 2 weeks, Joel had turned on you like there was no tomorrow. And
I know.
One of the podcasts.
What do you
remember
say?
That?
Yeah, not really. But anyway, probably crushed me for a few years there and struggled to get back into my fine form. But I don't know.
Are we at panic stations yet, Troy, or what?
Panic stations? Oh, well, yeah, probably. Probably. We're slowly running out of time, so yeah.
All right, before we continue on, I'll once again say it. Share tonight's podcast. Comment, share once you have shared the podcast. Shares will start. We're going to give away one of the multicultural jerseys that were just released this afternoon. Tonight, the winner must be here to claim. And there it is. That's the jersey. Modeled by Jordan Semrani and Sam Tuivasa. I actually like it. Your thoughts on that one, Hayden? I know you love your jerseys.
Yeah, it's a very nice one. I think I'll have to cop it eventually. I haven't got it right now, but I'll get my hands on it at some point. It's a nice-looking jersey for sure.
Can we enter?
I love your sex tape. I'll have to cop it eventually. Troy, will you be getting one of them for the Parra Cave?
Yeah, absolutely. If it's worn on the field, which it will be, yes, I will have to get one.
Yeah, apparently it's one on the field. The Eels social media team acknowledged me and said round 15, so that was pretty cool. So, Joel, I sent you a message, mate, with the attachment if you're going to pop on, if you're still watching or if you haven't gone back to your own little thing. So whatever you're doing.
His list ready.
Let's go. Before we get into stuff, I'll just quickly touch on this week, some other stuff this week. Our young star of the week was Jordan Samani, New South Wales Cup, and he's been called straight back into first grade. 20 runs, 174 run meters, 55 post contact, 4 tackle breaks, 2 line breaks, 5 offloads, and 2 try assists. Dominant win there in New South Wales Cup, and all reports he was untouchable. They couldn't get near him in New South Wales Cup, which was fantastic to see. Straight back in. I was actually surprised he didn't come in for Russell. Like, we saw a lot last year with Jason Riles, if players were leaving the club and they weren't part of the plan anymore, that
I've actually got two boxes of Eels tissues in the Parra cave, actually. So there you go. Just to let you know.
Six under his bed. And, you know, they turn. Now I've distracted myself. It just feels like the good old days. I can say what I want without giving a fuck anymore. But I thought that Sean Russell's performances since the head knock haven't been his best. And for me, with the season, it's definitely panic stations. I'll say the season's on life support and the button could be turned off this week. That we need to, you know, turn around and obviously give him a rest of his. Well, he's not part of the plans. He's going to Perth Bears next year. So here we are. Let's go. Sorry, Jez. I'm going to drop you out quickly. Hi, Jez. Bye, Jez. Who the fuck is this guy?
Oh, look at this.
Look out.
Hey,
Hello, boys.
The people in the comments have said that you are not allowed to smile. Okay, so can you stop smiling?
I was happy to see
And get
you all.
serious.
Sorry.
Jeez, look at the professional microphone too.
Back in the day, there was no smiling, Joel.
It was.
No, it was
must
just
be-
rants, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It must be big
Joel
money
Grant.
at League of Inches, eh? Like you've got
Look-
collared shirts. We don't have collared shirts. We've just got t-shirts. Look, Matt's just got a tee. You've got collars on your shirts.
On sale now, guys. Thank you.
So now, okay, he's certainly back and giving it a
70% off.
You got-
Go to League of
you
Inches,
got-
70% off.
How many?
No, it's
beers
good.
have you got in
I
the
seen
background?
the. Oh, that's just one of the sponsors here now, guys. Thank you. You'll be
You're
all
obviously not
there
gonna
seeing
mention
him next week.
Yeah, you're
So-
obviously not going to mention your beer sponsor on our podcast with our beer sponsor.
No,
but yeah,
sorry.
you've got a lot
No,
of-
sorry.
yeah,
I didn't mention
yeah.
names. I just said it's a sponsor. So there you go.
yeah, fair. How you been, mate? How you feeling about the season?
Oh, mate, I've been okay on a personal front. Obviously, bubbing that here now and lack of sleep and trying to manage everything, which is fantastic. But from a season point of view, I'm just really disappointed. Obviously, there's injuries and the like, which we all know. It's just pretty gut wrenching, isn't it? Where we've got to as a club, and we've seen this from a few years ago, didn't we? I remember having these chats live on air where we were going to get to and we were going to become the West Tigers of the competition, and people used to bag us for saying it. And I remember some of the DMs I used to get from fans going, "You're delusional," saying that sort of stuff. But look at us now, unfortunately. So, yeah, it is really disappointed. Obviously, there's some stuff back of house and that's probably going on as well that isn't helping things. But, yeah, it is what it is. It's disappointing. I'd love to be just playing finals football, getting excited for that once again. But here we are missing that one more year. So, good fun. How are you boys
What
been?
he is. Good. You just summed it up. You're acting
Thank
like
you.
we didn't speak on the phone yesterday. Hang on, it was
No.
today, wasn't it? We actually said it was today.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah,
today. It's
yeah,
been a big day.
it was today. It was today. Look, we've got an event happening at Magic Round. Joel's hosting an event with League of Inches. A few other podcasts. If you go on to Magic Round, obviously get in and check it out. Tickets for sale. I'll share the link again. That's on the Sunday morning. Parramatta play on the Saturday night at Caxton Street Brewery. Hosted by a lot of content creators. Joel, Lincoln from the United, Retro Rugby League, and a heap of guests. So I'll be there dribbling some shit, talking a lot of crap. If
Couple of
Parramatta
guest
win,
speakers. Might get you up for a guest speaker, mate.
well, if Parramatta win on Saturday night against Melbourne at Magic Round, there is a chance that me and Troy are going to go, and Hayden will come along too, but he won't keep up. We're going to go on the biggest bend ever because the last 2 times I've been to Magic Round for Parramatta, you were with me for one of them, Parramatta Melbourne, have been demolition jobs. And Pat wants you to send him the link. So the link will be posted. We'll get it up. I'll do my own little post as well. And we're actually doing a Talking Parra event that me and Joel organised today as well on the Saturday night. So at the same venue, that'll go out probably next week, and Joel will be there for that as well. So Magic Round's going to be huge. I'm so excited. let's get back on track, though. Let's get back on track for the week.
Sorry, boys.
Yeah, so we had.
Do you want me to go now? Do you want me to say hello
want
and
you to stay.
go? Or
No,
okay.
you might as well stay. You want to stay?
Oh, I can stay. I got nothing else to do.
Yeah, I hope your missus doesn't watch that. Or
She'd be
for the
asleep.
newborn baby, yeah, nothing else to do. Yeah, let's touch on this firstly as well. Just want to give a shout out where shout outs to Riley Smith, obviously out for a couple of weeks with that injury. Should be back for the Newcastle game. They've got him listed for 2 weeks, but with the bye, I think he'll be back for the Newcastle game. But mate, he was in a world of pain when he went off. He walked past me in the field club, and you could physically see tears in his eyes. They must have had some good shit in the sheds because he come out, was signing autographs, climbed up on a chair when he could barely lift his arm above his, well, not even his shoulder, could barely move his arm, and was signing autographs to kids and stuff. It's fantastic to see. And you got to call that stuff and say how good he is, because we've spoken about it in the time we're all doing the podcast together, that the club connection with the fans and the fans the way they were, the players with the fans wasn't great. And this guy's setting the standard, and a lot of them did it. All the players essentially went around to some section of the crowd after another disappointing loss, but come back out when no one expects him to. He deserves that shout. He's a good kid. So I want to touch on the Ronald Volkman penalty and Jason Riles' comments. I'll go to you first, Joel. Your thoughts on the refereeing performance, what Parramatta have kind of copped this year, and that penalty in general as well, because I'm going to post up the video while you do it. So fire away.
Oh, look out, talking in video. This place has really stepped up.
As we freeze play here.
Are we allowed to do it? The NRL's going to
that.
shut us down. Parramatta's going to shut us down. Who knows? But honestly, their refereeing hasn't been great. I think when you are a team not doing well, this happens. We've seen it with a number of teams this year that's copped just the raw end of the stick, and the NRL just sits on their hands and just doesn't do anything about it, unfortunately, and they just let it go through to the keeper. I think the one on the weekend was a really crucial time of the game as well. I've said a number of times on my page that Warriors probably no doubt go on and win that game. They are the better team. Let's just face that. But that was a huge momentum changing play. That we had all the momentum at the time. I think it was on a set there that we held the Warriors to a 9 meters in that set, which is unheard of this day and age. And then they kicked it. And every playmaker has come out in there, whether it's Nine, Fox, whoever it is, has come out and said that penalty was an absolute joke. It changed everything. It changed the whole momentum of the game. Warriors went on the front foot. They're a massive front foot team, and it was just too much for us to stop. I argue that if we let them kick it, we get the ball back, we probably score in the next set or two. We're really starting to generate some good momentum there, and who knows what could happen from there. So it was a really big game-changing moment. The referees can go and get, I'm getting really tired of it. But at the same time,
you're allowed to swear on this podcast. You're allowed to swear.
Okay, sorry, I didn't want to get you censored off or anything like that. And look, the other part of it as well, I will say, I have to be honest about it. Some of our players haven't been quite up to scratch. Some areas at key times have obviously put us on the back foot as well, unfortunately. So it's not all the referees, but that definitely didn't help that call.
Agree. And guys, that's all we've got time for tonight.
Sorry.
Thanks for joining.
Ask someone else.
See you next Tuesday.
I'm going to Hayden. Hayden, I'm not going to go into the whole call, but did that change the game at that point?
Yes, it changed the game. And if you rewatch this moment, you can see that Ronald Volkman takes him to the ground. You can see that both feet are not off the ground to make it a dangerous tackle. It's not high. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And look, this season of the NRL has been a bit of a gamble with referees, but the refereeing over the weekend was just a strange type of weird. From the comments of reduce, why is it repeating?
I'm trying to upload. I'm trying to upload a video.
All good. That threw me off. From the comments of reduce your force to the Ronald Volkman penalty to Victor Radley not going off, the whole weekend was weird. But this call, when we were within 4 to 6 points of the game, a game that, like you boys, I agree we probably don't go on to win. If you go and watch it, you slow it down. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Yep. Yeah. Matt, are Parramatta getting the raw end of the deal, or just as Parramatta fans, are we frustrated and looking for an excuse?
No, I just think it's a lesson learned. Don't take NRL to court at the start of the year. But it's just ridiculous. Like some of the calls, like the crowd, I sit with the Cumberland Pro boys and they were blowing up. So they released a video as well, blowing up about it. And just some of the calls, like he even called Ronald Volkman's second try and no try, knock on. And then that got turned into a try. So it's just embarrassing when all these captains challenges, and we saw it a couple of weeks ago where they told Mitch not to challenge, and it's just ridiculous what's happening, and they need to be held accountable. And good on Riles for actually finally saying something.
Yeah, finally saying something. I agree. Troy?
Yeah, I'm sick of
You
it.
sick of
As
it?
Jeremy,
Yeah,
as Jeremy
it
said,
is.
I'm sick of
You
it.
he beat me to it. Why are you sick of it?
Well, there's too much inconsistency, obviously the bottom teams, they don't get the best deal when it comes to referees. They get the harsh calls, and you see the top teams getting favourable calls. And look, some of them are warranted, yeah, don't get me wrong, but other times they're not. And that Vulcan one was one of those ones that it wasn't. And yeah, look, maybe Parramatta might have won the game, maybe they might not have. But it's just a big momentum changer.
That's the question, right? And this is what I want to ask everyone, because it's funny that Matt mentioned it. And I'll start with you, Troy. We'll go reverse. We all stood with Parramatta and how proud we were. And me and Joel talked about this on the phone the other day. How proud we were of the NRL for taking Parramatta for taking the NRL call over the Zach Lomax thing. We sit back and look at this now, and it's clearly affecting our season. Do we still think it was the right call? Now, Joel made the point to me, and I'll steal this off of Joel because I know you're going to say it anyway. We still obviously had an advantage out of it, and the advantage was that one of our better players from last year, or a player with a lot of ability, even though he made a lot of errors, isn't playing for an opposition team. I don't think it would have mattered because that opposition team beat us by 50 the first week anyway, and could do the same thing in a couple of weeks. But do you think it was the right call still? Do you still support that decision, or should we just have got on with things and concentrate on our season, Troy?
Well, hindsight's a great thing, isn't it? Look, probably at the time, yes, it probably was a great decision, but looking back on it now, probably not.
Yep. Hayden?
I think it is a good decision because I think we're one of the smaller fish, and eventually the NRL will have this with one of the bigger clubs. Let's say, Brisbane Broncos, for example, premiers last year. If they do something similar and challenge the NRL like this, it's going to become officially corrupt if people continue to see it. We're seeing it against us this year, but people might just be hating on Parramatta. So if it continues from more clubs, I think we've made the right call for the future of the sport.
Yep, Matty.
Something a bit controversial. Isn't horse racing a bit corrupt, and don't we have the same boss? Just saying, guys, just saying. But yeah, I think it was the right call taking Lomax to court. I think it was probably the wrong call trying to expose all the text messages and emails and communications between the bosses and Lomax and Melbourne and that. And I think we learnt that when Hopgood got thin bin in the first 30 seconds in round one. So how our season was going to be. So
Yeah, fair. Joel, thoughts?
I think it was a good job by the club to stand up and actually stand for something, which was great. Oh, like I said to you on the phone, mate, I actually think the club, what they should have said to Lomax was if this falls through for whatever reason, which was highly likely, I think 90% of the sporting community knew this thing wasn't going to go ahead. Come back to us until we can at least find a replacement for you. So if that's just to stay for the year, then we at least have a chance to bring a better and more quality outside back to replace you. Instead, we ended up bringing in Brian Kelly. We've brought in Jonah Pezzett as well. Our signings to post what's happened here hasn't been fantastic either. And just a little side note to that as well, just sort of what Hayden was saying before, and it's nothing what he said is actually the sad truth of everything. To refer to us as small fish at the moment, it's pretty disheartening, isn't it? Just to know that we're like that, where we're at as a club, and we had a chance about 3 or 4 years ago to really catapult into that big fish sort of sea, and we should have really catapulted into that. And the fact that we're still here, we can't. Like if this was happening at the Storm or not the Storm, Broncos, Penrith, whatever, they get a really good junior coming through that just goes on and scores 20 tries in that season. They sign a decent replacement. We're sitting here and we can't do anything. Like it is really disheartening to see that we are literally a small fish in an ocean where we really should be one of the main predators.
I'm just going to add to quickly because I'm getting a few comments come through about that comment being the wrong thing. I mean small fish in relation to what we've said for weeks, not being able to track that big name, not being a team that's won a comp in 40 years. There's a bunch of different factors. It's nothing negative and personal, but it's just what we're seeing, a lot of us at the moment in that extent.
I want to dive in and say something as well about that because we've gone there, and I'm gonna put it out there as well. Mark O'Neill's copped a lot of shit about this. We obviously gave him quite a bit of shit 2 years ago, and people want us to go back to the O'Neill out fans over profit days. Hey, and we're all sitting here. We could easily do it. This is the 5 blokes that started it, and what a time it was to be alive. But Mark O'Neill is not the issue, and I'm not going to say who is an issue. I'm not going to say anyone's an issue. What I'm going to say is this club has this presence now. They come out and stated they didn't want to spend big money. They wouldn't overpay for players. And that was when we were renegotiating with our own players. Clint Gutherson, Mitchell Moses, everyone remembers it. We won't pay overs for players. We won't be that club. We are quite simply being used by managers now. And managers are smart. Managers are grubs. A lot of them, most of them, 98% of them, no names mentioned. But what they do is they come to us as a club, right? And Mark O'Neill could have the best negotiation. Mitchell Moses could go off and talk to the player, and say, come to Parramatta. We've got all these good things going. The manager's still going to get their player to do what they want them to do, which is about their back pocket when they're taking 7%, e.g. Dylan Brown. So what they do is they come to us. They know we're not going to pay overs. They get the top deal that we'll give. So let's say, give me a name. Who's someone? Herbie Farmworth becomes on the market, right? And we say, Herbie, we're not giving you any more than $900,000. And then he goes to the Roosters who have their own salary cap and are happy to spend as much money as they want because they'll make it work. And they turn around and they offer him $925,000 a year. They know Parramatta aren't going to go higher because we've made that agreement. We've made that statement. What we need to do is we need to go off and spend, even if it's $50,000 more dollars a year than what the Roosters could spend on someone like Herbie, even if we give him $1 million a year, right? We spend that $1 million. Or Dylan Lucas, he wants $950,000 from the Knights. I can see Jez probably sitting there shaking his head. No, he's drinking water. He spat his water out and gave me the bird. But we give like someone like Dylan Lucas that extra bit of money. We know the Knights can't give him. All of a sudden, people go and managers go, let's start renegotiating with Parramatta. Let's turn around. Let's realize they're going to spend the money. They want to sign good players now, and it could work out well. I have no doubt if we went and signed Payne Haas, right? And we spent $50,000 more a year than what the Rabbitohs did on Payne Haas for next year, we probably could have attracted someone like Herbie or someone like Dylan Lucas or another young front rower or whatever we needed to buy for maybe $20,000 less than another club was offering because they go, I want the opportunity to play with Payne Haas, and that's the situation we've got to get ourselves in. The club has to do it. They have to. Dylan Lucas was an example. Shut up. You're not on the podcast night. Piss off.
To be honest, I reckon we actually need to go. The unfortunate thing, I didn't think we need to go higher than 50K to get some of these players. That's the thing. We're just not in an attractive place at the moment, and that's the realistic view of it.
Who would want to come when we're second last, third last? To be honest,
this is gonna really hurt me to say. By the way,
I think we have 950,000 in our cap for next year to get players. So why not? From what I heard, people I've talked to, we had a chance to get Herbie when he left Brisbane, but we never made the offer, and he was willing to come. He wanted to come, but the people that have talked to him said Parra never offered me, so I didn't go. So
sounds like someone else we speak to that Parra never offered him.
Yeah.
This is going to hurt me a lot to say, and I've got Jez's reaction here. The Newcastle Knights couldn't have even attracted a fringe first grader last couple of years, right? Everyone they tried to sign, and Jez is sitting here nodding his head off with his Knights shirt and his Parramatta hat on, going, yep, I agree. They've gone and they've spent money on Dylan Brown, right? And by the fact they've spent money on Dylan Brown and their season started reasonably well, I still think they're not achieving as much as their fans think they are. They're certainly playing better football, and they're a better football team to watch. And the crowds are flocking in to watch that. They've now signed Kalen Ponga on another long-term deal when it looked like he was going to leave for sure. We don't know what other players they might sign, but they're a prime example of spending overs, and everyone laughed at the Dylan Brown deal, including us, including probably Dylan himself. He probably laughed at when they offered it to him as well. But it's worked wonders for them. Jez, I don't really need you to say anything, but I just wanted to bring you in so you see your reaction. But you've got something to say, I can tell, don't you?
Yeah, I'm going to take you back to when we signed Ponga, and we all said that we paid well and truly overs for Kalen Ponga, but we could see the potential and we were investing in that. And I think that's what you're trying to allude to as well, that at the time it seems ludicrous. But now you're seeing the knock-on effects from spending overs, getting those players in there and building a team around them and investing. And you're going to attract those players. I'll be really sad if Lucas does go. I hope that we can keep him. But we are now producing those types of players that other clubs are going to want. And it's because we've invested in that marquee player and built around them.
The other thing not to forget on the Newcastle Knights, they've made some big changes in the back of house over the last 6 to 12 months. I think that also helps now what you were starting to see from the Newcastle Knights and what they're producing on the field. There's no mistake, make no mistake about it. Look, I'll go out and say, because I don't have ties to anyone. I think there's a number of personnel in behind the scenes at Parramatta who've been there for way too long now. We haven't achieved anything under them. It's time to sort of go and get some new blood in the place. And I reckon, no coincidence, over the next 12 or 24 months, we'd start seeing a lot more success on the field.
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with that. I'm not making any comments at all. But
I too, who have no ties to the club, Joel, agree wholeheartedly with what you just said and would revoice it if I remembered word for word what you said, because it is absolutely true.
Are you sick of it,
All right.
Joel?
Oh, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
As
There is a
much
lot
as
of
you,
people
Troy.
in the club that have rocks in their head. Let me just say that much. So,
Oh, there it is. It was always coming,
He said
wasn't
the
it?
thing.
See the line, Bart. See the line. All right, bye, Jess. We'll welcome you back later. Look, before we move on from that, there's a lot we could talk about. Let's go to Jason Riles' comment. Oh, hang on,
I'm
shit.
still here. You got rid of the wrong one.
Yeah, fuck off.
the wrong J.
Yeah, I know. It's because he was here before you. Anyway, let's go to Jason Riles' comments from Saturday night's press conference.
No questions on the officiating?
Yeah, hi, Jason. Adam Martin from Talking Parra here. Look, I've got a question about the officiating, actually. Look, the call on Ronald Volkman, where he clearly took him to ground quite gently, as they're instructed to do in the rules, and obviously a penalty was blown, and it really changed the game, really changed the momentum. Parramatta's hand on top there. Can you help me understand how for the first 9 weeks of the season, these big calls is seen to be going against Parramatta?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really help you there, mate. Yeah, not right now.
Yeah, Jason, just a follow-up question. Do you think the refereeing is going to get better from Gerard Sutton? Like, is there improvement in him or anything to learn, or do you just think that we need a different referee?
Well, he's not next week, nah. He's another week or two away.
Do you think the NRL will hold him accountable?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah.
I truly believe that was some of my best work ever done, ever, on the podcast.
I think
But-
it should have been saved for the podcast. I think it should have been a premiere tonight. We all should have reacted to it. Everyone's loving it in the comments for the first time. Repost tomorrow. This should have been a big surprise.
It should have been.
Can I ask, on Saturday night, if Jason Riles did take a question about the referees and just unloaded, would we have been proud of that to happen?
100%.
Yeah.
It's about time. We started
I
a
thought it was-
GoFundMe for BA to do it years ago, and he never would. So
I thought it was brilliant how he did it, though. I thought it was very smart how he did it. But he was quickly said, okay, that's it by the media manager before anyone could actually ask him a question. Because if you listen carefully, he's halfway out the door and a reporter goes, actually, Jason, what do you think about the ref? And he's already gone. And you hear the media person from Parramatta going, okay, let's go. Come on, let's go. You know, getting them out of there as they like to do because they're very proud of how short they can keep those press conferences. But anyway, that's pretty much it from the game. I think there's not much else to add from that game. Obviously, another frustrating result. Like I said, never thought we'd win it. We'll get around before we get some news from the week. I want to obviously congratulate the Tarsha Gale Cup team at winning 20-6. Great effort there, going back-to-back, winning back-to-back comps as well. At least if Yola was close. They got knocked down the prelim after going through undefeated in the year. But I've got a little bit of a job for Hayden to do here. just so we can congratulate the girls and the ladies that played in that team. Hayden, can you congratulate every single player in this team, starting from 1 and working down to 20?
Well, after learning how to say Hamole Olakatu last week, it's time.
Still said it wrong.
So, without further ado, I'll be back to studying after this. But congratulations to our fullback, Ire Surveyor, our wings, Zygon Liga, and Freedom Crichton Rapati. Our centres, Billy Va'a, and our Jessamine Aloye, I reckon. Our halves, Sammy Lee Gun Tubi and Alia Sulfan. Our front rowers, Taylor Falanco and Alana O'Loughlin. Our hooker, Ava Jones. Our back row, Tia Matthews and Fontaine Tafuga. At lock, winning the premiership there was Kylia Gray. On the bench, but doing a great job, was Bailey Marchong, Shire Tokalik, number 16, Leona V, number 17, Mitzi Cairns, 18, Olivia Saab, and last but not least, Sualo Lagfoga.
I love how confident he was when he got to Ava Jones, and he was like,
That's what made it. He was like, thanks, fuck, Ava Jones and Olivia Saba. He was
waiting for a Smith.
There is some great modern names there, mate. I love the name Shire. Shire took a licky. Absolutely brilliant, Hayden, mate. That was your punishment for getting it wrong last week. You actually did better than I thought. You started terribly. You picked up for a while, and then the ending was a bit rough. But yeah, not taken away from the efforts from the girls. Like I said, to go back to back, these NRL with some pretty good chances. This is worse than Blocker commentating. There was moments in that I thought he was going to have a stroke, to be honest. But all right, let's move on to some of the news from this week. Spencer Lanu, on his way out the Roosters, struggling for minutes there, seems to be out of favour. All reports are he'll sign for PNG. That doesn't help him, though. PNG ain't coming until 2028. Means he's got a year and a half or a year and 2/3 left at a Roosters club where he's clearly struggling and something isn't right there. And I've had some people reach out. I've had some people do some digging, and something certainly isn't right at the Roosters with Spencer. Even if it's only for 18 months with some really good young forwards coming through. And I know this is going to be unpopular because we've obviously spoken a lot about blocking paths and stuff like that. It's different when you're talking about a front rower, especially a front rower that's won 3 comps, played for Samoa, played for New South Wales as well. Would you have him for 18 months, Matt?
100%. He's the one that we need to come off the back fence. Like, we need a bit of mongrel in our side, and yeah, I think be worth it.
The Parramatic Cucks. Hayden, Spencer?
Yeah, for sure, I'd take him. We've been missing some aggression for a while. We saw in the Manly game the other day, Nathan Brown ripping into the Panthers, getting angry, and that's what we've missed at Parramatta, a big, strong forward with a bit of aggression. I know he's been out of favour sometimes within Penrith and Roosters, but for mine, he dominated our forward pack in that 22 grand final along with Leota. So I'd take Spencer for sure, whether it be 18 months or even a loan deal for 2 weeks like the Warriors used to.
2 weeks?
2 weeks and 2 week deal. Yeah,
What are you doing 2 weeks?
No one else will sign him. We'll sign him after Magic Round next week on the Sunday. Sign him for 2 weeks and then have the bye the week after, and he'll play Newcastle, and that'll be it. Troy, Spencer Lanu, Parramatta.
Yeah,
do you love it? Do you hate it?
No, I love the idea. We need the aggression off the back fence sort of stuff. And, I did also see that I think Canterbury fans are thinking they might get him as well.
Do they not have a cap? Like,
no, they got hotels.
They're shit anyway. Why would you want to go there for a short term? They're shit.
yeah, I'm gonna.
No, but I saw a post that was similar to Adam's and saying that he's going to go
similar.
there.
What do you mean it was similar? It was a fucking copy and paste with the word change from Eels to Bulldogs. Shout out to the Canterbury Bulldogs news for their clear plagiarism there.
But yeah, get him in. If he's not happy, get him in the Parramatta. Show the aggression. And we've seen this year with injuries as well. he'd be happy to get there, play some footy.
Yeah. Joel, obviously we know you take him. You voted no, though, in the poll, but do you think he'd be able to... Actually, not going to take him. I want to swing it around here. Would someone like Spencer help our young forwards coming through, all those good young forwards we've got there, or just block their path?
Well, just firstly, I actually just got the podcast with Isaac Isser, and he confirmed that he's on the 8 at the Roosters. So, tell you that what you will, I don't reckon he'll be at the Roosters by the end of the year. I think he'll be gone earlier than that. He did mention, like what you said, though, he will be at the Chiefs, no doubt about it. He very, very close ties with Jerome Luai, but it's about what he can do before that happens. I don't really like the signing just because I think he'll demand a fair bit of cash, even short term. I think we're trying to solve an issue in the short term that really doesn't help us in the longer sort of run of things. And I think, like you said just before, he's been an issue now for a couple of clubs. And I don't know if he's got the best headspace to be that leader that we need. I'd be liking a leader to come into the club that can actually help these guys achieve what they can, not a guy that's going to block one of these guys' paths, as well as probably create a bit of destabilization around the place.
Yeah, and look, for me, if his future's made up and he knows he's going to PNG and he wants to stand there, it's a good time for him to turn it around. When he left Penrith and went to the Roosters, it's because he wanted to be that starting front rower and that big player, that number one front row man. And honestly, it just doesn't seem to work for him. I don't know if it's the pressure. I don't know if it's his game. Like, he suits when the forwards are a bit more tired and coming off the bench. But personally, for me, I think it's what we need in that scenario. Like Hayden said, like, I'm going to straight out and say it, and I don't care if it's cost me drinks, but we haven't got anyone that's got that cunt in them. Like, we need someone that has that aggression and wants to go out and smash people and fight people and absolutely destroy people, like that good fucking D.
Could if he's off the rails a bit, could Junior Paulo sort of put him on the right path, being Samoan captain as well?
Well,
Not
that's the
short
thing.
term. You can't change him that quickly. It's going to take a while.
Yeah,
But
He'll probably
he
come in
isn't,
and get
like-
suspended in the first game.
But the sad thing is he's a definite upgrade of what we basically have at the moment. So that is the truth to it. So I do get that part of it. I'm just worried about the trying to fix something really, really quickly when it's not the best sort of actually, when you sit back and actually look at it, it's not the best.
And I think it should be. I think
Sam will be the guy as well, but I'd like to see Brown get a run as well. And how far away do you reckon Ryder will be?
Well, he's in Cup last week. I'm assuming he's in Cup this week, obviously. But like I said, Teencum hasn't had a chance yet. I looked at Teencum after the game, right? After watching the Warriors forward pack walk within meters of me and thinking to myself, how are humans built that big? How are they that large? Like, I told one of them that I reckon I could run it straight at him, and he looked and smiled at me. I said, I didn't say I could get up, so I could run it straight at you, But for me, like, I looked at Teencum after the game. I thought, why are we not playing this kid? This would have been the perfect game to play him. He doesn't need to do anything special. He has to come off the bench for 20, 25 minutes. He needs to make his tackles, and he needs to run with aggression. He's a big body, and it will work. He can bend a line. And I say he had a lot of injuries. He's not quite ready. Our club's just a club of excuses why we hold these kids back. Like, for me, Ryder, 3-4 games in New South Wales Cup, bring him in, get him to go. Like, Sam Tuivasa is coming back against the Knights. Everyone's coming back against the Knights. It's going to be a glorious day. But we'll probably get more injuries the way the season's gone by then,
Well, I spoke to Sam after the game, and he's rushing for this week. But he's
we
not
didn't get
named.
named, so so maybe the week. I mean, it doesn't make much more sense to bring him back before the bye as well. Given that time, we've had too many injuries and a questionable strength and conditioning coach. So I watched Team come after the game.
This show hasn't changed. How good.
It has. We've been professional for so long. You go back to the original and things get a bit silly. It's you. You bring the best out of people. You bring the best out of the comments. And anyway, moving away from Spencer, there's another rumor that is Jarrell Skelton. Obviously, we tried to chase him, I believe, when he was leaving the Dogs, and he ended up picking the Tigers, like Blake Wilson as well, actually. Went to Manly. How's that worked out for him? And now there's a rumor that it's floating around the Tigers. I had a couple of Tigers content creators send it to me. I don't know if there's any truth to it, but apparently it's close to signing for Parramatta. The other one was Harrison Edwards as well. Is that the one we're talking about? Was that his name, guys? We're talking about before we come on air. He's apparently from the Cowboys, looking to start from a front row as well of 46 games or something like that. Another fringe first grader. So, Skelton, do we need him, Hayden?
Nah, I don't think we do. I think we're a little bit scarce of outside backs, whether it be winger or centre. But I think what we've got at the moment and in the future, I still think we've got young kids coming through that can do a better job than Skelton for mine. I don't rate this bloke a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm getting blasted for that rumor, 100%. Every time I post a rumor and I say this is a rumor, right, I cop it off fans. And the reality is the bigger you get, the more idiots you're going to have in the comments.
It's not fair, is it, Adam? It's not fair.
I don't give a fucking shit. I got tough skin. I don't give a shit. But I explain it to one person. If everyone else can't read it, that's on them for not being able to scroll up and read. But reality is, like I said, work a busy job. I've got a kid I'm raising. I've got another kid on the way. The podcast is a hobby, guys. Footy is life, but the podcast is a hobby. And I haven't got time to respond to 100 messages about rumours, so I put it out there. So, Skelton Troy, yes, no, maybe, I don't know.
Oh, maybe. How's that?
Couple of skeletons in Troy's closet.
I didn't know you could get blow up skeletons.
Yeah, you're right, Joel. Nothing's changed with you, has it? Nothing's changed.
Welcome back, mate. I'll see you next week.
Have you got anything else to say, Troy, or are you just going to sit there and giggle at the joke?
I said maybe.
Yeah, okay. Matt, anything else? This is not the good old days. Troy's offering fucking nothing again.
I know.
No, you asked me yes, no, maybe. I said maybe.
Just remember, Troy, Joel was the guy that you thought would back you up by bringing him in.
Yeah, I know. Look at that.
Actually, before you get into this, Andy's giving us some support in the comments. Troy, is there anything you wanted to say to Andy? Congratulate him maybe from the weekend?
Yeah, congratulations, Andy, to you for your engagement in 2028. It was great.
Comment said without context. And come to our Talking Parra shout at the Station Hotel. It was a great one there. Thanks to everyone that came. We managed to get through $500 pretty quickly. Makes sense with Troy and my brother drinking as much as they wanted. But Andy come in with his new girlfriend and told us that he's getting engaged in 2 years. It's all planned out. So good job, Andy. Good to see you happy, mate. You've been a supporter of the podcast for a long time. So, all right, Matt, Skelton, yes or no?
Yeah, purely because I feel like we need more people that will help us get out of our own half. And I think
that's
he's
one
a
thing.
big winger and meter eater. So,
yep. I've heard him compared to Brian Kelly. Now, we know Brian Kelly's been good, had a lot of errors, but he's been good. He did, once again, a freakish thing on the weekend. Joel, if you had to pick between playing Skelton and Brian Kelly, which one would you go with?
Skelton. Skelton on one leg.
Yeah, he's done some freaky things, hasn't he? Could you see him part of the club long term, or do you think it's just to fill a gap for the rest of the year?
I don't like the signing. I actually don't like the majority of the signings we're being rumoured to at the moment, because all it is getting players who are basically rejects of their current club, can't make their team. And we fall into these traps so much in Parramatta where we panic because something's not happening. We're like, oh, let's just get a signing to cover over the cracks of something that's happening. Look at someone like Matty Tomoko, who has been so good since coming back for the Raiders, who has been told by the club he's not wanted moving forward, basically. Avarillo at the Dolphins is a fantastic footballer. Like, these guys are out of contract, ready to talk. And what are we doing? Like, it's just, and then instead we're linked to someone to stop and fill a gap for this year. This year's over and done with. Why are we trying to sign players who we're going to get tied to for a 2 or 3 year deal to come over to us? They'll use us. We've got the best centre of excellence ever. Why can't we sign any of these other guys that are literally getting told by their club they are free to leave? Imagine having Avarillo come into the lineup. Imagine having Tomoko come into the lineup. How much that changes everything moving forward from next year. It would be ridiculous.
I want Timoko. I want Timoko bad. I don't know why we haven't signed Timoko.
That's because when we wanted to sign him, they put him in first grade. They actually brought him in.
But that's not a bad tactic. And that's all three players were rumoured to sign, him, Cherry, and Tago. Tago and Cherry have stayed, right? They were all rumoured to be coming to us, and they're all put in the first grade to up their market value. If you see them do it in the first grade level, one of them plays well, we should have been offering more money to take them, making that club pay less. But I don't know why we haven't, and this is what frustrates me, right? And I said it before, last year, Dylan Brown, as soon as he signed for the Knights, he was gone. As soon as the season over, he was gone. He was in reserve grade till he got his farewell game. Sean Russell's still there. Sean Russell had a great start of the year. For me, Sean Russell's been pretty average after the round one, to be honest. And he took that head knock and he hasn't been the same. I don't see why we're not going off and signing a centre when it's pretty clear that we obviously don't rate Nyanva enough to have him in there preparing him for next year. Will's now out for an extended period of time. Sam Riney comes in and I like it because I think Sam Riney was good these games there this year before he got injured. He's good in cup on his return. And I bagged Sam Riney out as a centre last year, but he's improved massively. I just don't know why we're not off making this signing. And the only thing I can think of is, and I'm fucking hoping this is the only thing I can think of and it's going to happen, is we are planning to try and raid Herbie Farnworth for 2028. So we don't want to sign someone like Timoko for 1.5 years. But if we're doing that, I still think we need someone there because we're essentially writing off 2027 if we keep doing this. We're saying 2027 doesn't matter because we're not going to have two good young centres or two good centres if we don't rate one high enough to get him ready for now. So anyway, that's pretty much all we need to talk about in that one right there. A couple of injuries. As I said, we've already touched on the Riley Smith one. Obviously, Sam Riney back this week from injury. Has it suspended, I believe, this week from New South Wales Cup for a hip drop. But Will Penasini says groin, but it's something else that – does anyone know how to say it? Because honestly, I'm not even going to fucking – Go on. No. You stood up. You say it. Go on. Say it. It's something pubitis or whatever it is.
Yeah. So one of the guys at my work had this, and I'm telling you, he'll be out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. It's one of those things you can play through if you can manage. It's similar to a hip flexor injury, I believe. I think it comes ostrich.
How do you get an ostrich down there? What the fuck?
Yeah, I have that.
I think Heine had it in his career, during his career.
Yeah.
NRL physio mentioned on his page that it's an injury that you can literally, it's just a week by week thing. He might be okay next week and it'll be good to play. And then the week after, he might be like, oh, I can't move. So,
but that's it. You can push through it but it affects your lateral movement because it comes into your hip. I know it runs from your hip down into obviously your pubic area. And I know myself from having a hip surgery, and you could see it in this last try the Warriors scored. His lateral movement was gone. He could not move sideways. So for me, he could be good to go in 2 weeks.
Through, he didn't even try.
Yeah, we can't play him. We can't play him until he's 100% and he's rid of that injury. And I don't know what you can do because you wouldn't want to get an injection there. You can get an injection in the hip, but I've had dry needling in my groin. I'll tell you this much, it isn't fun. But anyway, look, before we get into this week's game as well, obviously the 50-point bar, I'd like to welcome Benji Marshall and the Tigers, and Ben Ritchie made a guest appearance as well in the 50-point bar to celebrate. Benji trying to hide under the table, but it's all happening there. And I will state too, something that me and Joel have been talking about, we're bringing the 50-point bar, as I said, potentially to Suncorp round. So Suncorp round, Magic round at Suncorp at the Caxton Street Brewery. I'm on fire. This is off track tonight. So, all right, before we get into this week's game, let's go around our favourite podcast memory over the years. All right, so we always do this for quite a while. Troy, I'll start with you. What's your best podcast memory of all the time we've been doing this podcast? The funniest thing or your best memory?
So many good times, but you can't go past the end of season shows. I think it was last year. I only was talking about it last week at the Station Hotel, but yeah, the guy that was continually circling in his room is like, yeah, disco lights going at the same time as well, and he was just going on and on and on, and then just must have done 5 kilometers in a circle.
It's brilliant. It was like Forrest Gump. Just felt like running. Just felt like walking. I want to talk now, say mine now, because I know you're going to probably steal it, but mine's the end of season as well. We've had some great memories, some great times. I think the real breakout one was me and Joel had a fantastic time in Magic Round in 2024. After things obviously weren't going great with the club and pretty controversial, and we just took the piss all weekend. But besides several of Troy's drunk events and his drunken rants and, pushing the red button and stuff like that. Thanks, Mum. Mum's you guys. She's a proud
Good
supporter.
on you, Mum.
Thanks, Mum.
Yeah. Don't talk to Mum, Troy. And my favorite memory was our first ever bringing the fans on. The comments were off tit. The stuff that was happening, I'm not going to mention any names, but holy fuck, it was just next level. And we're going to do that again. I'm going to mention one name, Andrew Backhouse. Andrew Backhouse has been a long-time fan of the podcast. Him having the Christmas tree set up in the background in the middle of the year when we had him on the podcast.
Actually, a massive shout out to Andy as well. He was the one that shot the promo video of me at
your
the
promo
stadium.
video? Yeah, but it was brilliant. It was just one of those times. Hayden, I'll go to you next. Your favourite memory?
Oh, mate, I've got a little bit of a top three for you. The first one, you actually weren't there. It was Anzac Day a couple of years ago, mate. You're rocking that singlet. I was the opposite. I remember Troy making fun of me wearing this singlet here, which will never be worn again. That is a 14-year-old right there. Now, I was actually about 19 or 20 years old. Number two was myself, you, and Matt doing a stream. It was a bit of a watch-along against the Broncos, and you boys were asking me my thoughts on the match. And at that moment, Nan's laptop died. So I just dropped off, and you guys were pissing yourselves laughing a few years ago. But number one for me is last year when the mascots were gone. We were lucky enough to have Sparky come on the podcast and voice that he'll be back the following week.
Yes. He still appears every now and then when I do this. Sparky still appears when I turn my camera off for some reason. I don't know why, but I go like that. Oh, there he is. There you go, Sparky.
Why is it when it turns off your camera? I thought it was Sparky.
I don't know. Oh, it's taking him all this time. All right, Matt, yours?
Probably the Watergate games where we just all just had water everywhere.
Who didn't we tell? Was it Hayden or Troy?
We didn't. I think it was Hayden. We didn't tell, and we all just had bottles of water. I had a whole shelf behind me full of water. We were all just drinking every now and then, and Hayden had no idea what was going on.
You know what the fuck thing about that was? We turned into a competition of who could drink the most water, right?
And we all needed to pee for the night.
I got through 5.5 litres in an hour and a half podcast, and I pissed 13 times that night. The shit you do
and
for
also,
content.
Also, the video you showed at the start where we didn't inform Troy we were wearing different jerseys, and it was State of Origin week. And
see, it's always pick on Troy. Always pick on Troy.
And obviously we told him that we all chose to wear different jerseys. We had a separate group chat, so that was pretty good. And obviously the Joel rants.
I know.
The Joel rants with the explosion graphics and
rocks in the head. It was like, Joel, what was yours? I found on the bus here because obviously we weren't planning on coming on because we thought you were too good for us, but
with his polos.
Honestly, the end of season ones were pretty funny. I think we've had some pretty funny interviews. One guy was in his car. One guy, like Mika said before, was doing a marathon in his bedroom. We just asked him where he was going. What was he doing? He just wouldn't stop walking. So a couple of those things. Obviously, like personal highlights, just been a couple of pretty decent rants, I guess, that people have enjoyed and get things off your chest, which has been fun. But yeah, all in all, just watching the podcast grow, really, to be a bit, nicer on that front. It's just been great to see what's been happening, and it's been a really good part to be part of, and really appreciate it.
It's funny actually. I think since you left, we've gone up about 12,000 followers.
I started it all. So when I was here, the funny thing was when
we
you
started on
here,
500 followers. Remember?
Then I come along, you shot up, and then I just did what I needed to do, mate. It's not the tough carries.
We done all the crossover shows. And...
Yeah, that's fair. We did all that. All right, let's get to this week's game. I didn't do a graphic because I forgot, but it is against the Cowboys up in Townsville. Me and Hayden have had a fair... Oh, fuck. Hang on, I forgot one. Hayden fainting in Townsville will forever be the top tier moment. It's actually marriage, obviously second marriage, childbirth, and future childbirth. Parramatta winning in Townsville and Hayden fainting is probably one of the fourth best moments of my life. So it's in the top 5, Hayden. Be happy with that. Joy in jail was a good one. That was when we were doing our gym interview as well. That's what made it best, because our biggest ever interview at that time, and Troy looked like he was in jail. So, and you just let him know. Friday's game against the Cowboys, 8 o'clock in Townsville. Tough game, hard match. We are actually going to do a watch-along on Friday night. We haven't done one for a while because I pretty much get to most games, but I'm not going to Townsville, so I don't know how many of us are going to be on, but we're going to do a watch-along. Be able to watch the game with us, and we'll chat through the game. And actually got Lucas as well, and he's pretty keen to try and commentate some of the games. So we might give him his 5 minutes there to see how he commentates. That could be fucking hilarious. So we'll go through the lineup first of all. I said there was some changes. Joe Ash stays at fullback. Brian Kelly and Joshua Dakar on the wings. Semrani comes in the centres. Talon Silva starts at hooker. The halves are obviously the same, and the rest of the forward pack is the same. Bench goes to Walker, Pryke, Tony Matelli. Comes back in after a really good performance in Cup. A really good performance in Cup, actually. I don't know why he was dropped, but he's back in. Charlie Geimer at 17. Appa Twiddle returns at 18. Another interesting one to see him there over Lorenzo, even though Appa's not part of the future plans of the club. Team Cum Brown at 19. Desire at 20. Arrows Never 21. And Lorenzo at 22. Your thoughts on the team, Hayden?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the best team you can name this week with the injuries we've got, and Jordan Samrani with that fantastic game in Cup last week. Just glad to see Dylan Walker off the bench. I'm just glad they haven't gone back to starting him because he plays his best football there off the bench. It was interesting to see Appa Twiddle and if they're going to use him. I saw someone mention it earlier, which is something I don't like, but I feel like we might see Appa play a bit of fullback and Joe Ash go to 9 if Talon looks a bit flat late in the game. I saw someone comment that earlier and kind of agree, but I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, Plan was to play Joe Ash at 9 last year, and it never actually happened. So, Joel, your thoughts on the team?
Meh. Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? I still don't know why Nandva got dropped to start with. That still gets me because I thought he was actually really good those 2 games he got to play. To be fair, Russell hasn't done much at all this year, so I don't know why he has this spot cemented on. I don't like having... I think Lorenzo, obviously his shoulder or something, I believe, is still not quite right. That's the only reason I believe that he can't be in this spot to get a look in. It finally should be time to have a look at what he can do. But apart from that, there is probably a fair few injuries. We can't really do too much, but I would have really liked to see Nandva come in and just have him and Semrani in the centres or something, because both of them apparently, Semrani, like you said, had a really good game last week. Nandva was great the 2 weeks he got to play in first grade. Jason Rolls said made a big thing last year when Dylan Brown wasn't going to be at the club this year, and he dropped him and wanted to prepare for the future. And he's sort of gone back on his word this year a little bit because he's had some chances to do the same procedure basically, and he hasn't done so. So it hasn't been ideal. I think he's been found out a little bit in that department because Russell's not at the club moving forward and he's not in good form. So I don't know why he's still there.
A lot of people are saying about Nandva in the comments. No dispensation. I obviously get that as well, but the amount of
The
injuries
Rabbitohs
we
get
have, the amount of injuries we do have though as well. It's easy to shuffle things around. I don't think Russell's right after those head knocks. Didn't look confident at all on the weekend. So pretty easy to say concussion protocols and leave him out for another week, and then get him obviously promoted there with Will out, both our starting centres gone. With the other injuries we have, it makes sense you'd surely be able to get him in there. But we've still got those 2, potentially 3, if Ryan Madison's cryptic posts on Instagram or anything to go by, you think he'd be gone in the next couple of weeks. For those who can see his Instagram.
I can't see it for some reason.
Yeah.
He actually unblocked. He unblocked me on my personal. Talking Parra's still blocked, but he unblocked me we had a conversation before he went across to England in person. He unblocked me. So we're Beffels again, man. Leave my matter alone. Okay? But no, I can see it. And yeah, it looks like he's going to retire maybe. I don't know. But Troy, any changes you'd make?
He's falling asleep.
No, I was just looking at the team list. No, there probably is not much you can change about it, to be honest. Very slim pickings, and I think obviously Sam Roney deserves his chance to come back in with Will's injury. So, there's not much we can do at the moment.
Yeah, before I go to you, mate, I'll say mine. And a simple one for me is that Kelma Talangi, also not part of our plans next year, being told to look elsewhere, has played one good game this year. I get why he's got him there because he has the potential, but in like the respect of looking forward to the future years, I've got to have Josiah in the team. I've got to debut Josiah, even if it means starting Charlie and Josiah off the bench. He's obviously travelling if he's part of that squad. Get the kid in. He's young. He's fit. He wants to prove a point, and that's what we're going to need in the Townsville humidity, which Hayden knows all about. Matt, any changes you make?
Yeah. Would you put Volkman
Going.
Going.
Oh, the eyes.
And 4 years later, I still haven't seen it. Like I still didn't know he fainted.
Would you potentially put Volkman 9 and bring Lorenzo in? Where's New South Wales Cup? Because Lorenzo's been named.
Usually in New South Wales. They're not going to be in Queensland.
Yeah, but
sorry, they do go to New Zealand and Melbourne now, so that was a dumb thing.
I'm saying, like, if he travels, then obviously he's not, because we play on Saturday. Sorry.
Friday.
If we're playing Friday night in Townsville.
Yeah.
Where are we playing?
Well, that's the interesting thing.
Kellyville on Saturday.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing for me. Like, obviously, like, when it comes down to player fatigue and all that kind of shit, you can't do it. But for me, I think the club's missed a massive opportunity here. Like, we talk about the good old days of rebuilding and bonding and all this kind of shit. These players, they should fly to Townsville tomorrow whenever they're going up on their chartered flight with the $4,000 return you could have got involved in. But hashtag fans over profit. But, you know, for me, they should have gone up. They should have been in Townsville and they should have stayed up in somewhere in Queensland, like not somewhere with golf courses, but somewhere with training grounds and had a bit of a bonding thing before Magic Round. I know players have families and everything's changed these days and you can't do it and all this kind of crap. But at the end of the day, you're on a very good wage, a very, very good wage to do something you love. Yeah. I think going away for 10, 11 days together will make or break you. We've seen all this stuff about training camps. I used to love the BA training camp videos. They were inspirational and it really worked for us. But it could. Like, you get them away together, bonding. I don't care if they sit there and drink 25 schooners a night together. Like, I really don't care. But you build it, you know, and you make it work and you see what happens with that time away. For me, for fatigue and stuff, it doesn't make sense to come back. Let's say they come back on Saturday or Sunday, once again, whenever that chartered flight comes back, you know, they're back. They've got to fly to Brisbane again on Saturday or whatever. There's no settling in. Like, you got, what, 3 or 4 training days after you do recovery and stuff? Like, it's just stupid, really. But that's my thoughts. What would I know?
Do they even train 3 or 4 days looking at their fitness? Like,
I don't know.
Frengos.
Oi, don't you say a bad word about Frengos, all right? You keep
no
Frengos out of your mouth.
Maybe they're back on the fortnight or something. Like,
who knows? Chartered flight is leaving tomorrow and back on Saturday. Thank you, Ben. Where would I be without you? It's going to be a pretty empty flight too. All right, let's get to our bold predictions for the week. Welcome back, Joel. You can go first because you haven't done one of these for a while.
What?
Score, first try scorer, and prediction.
Well, shout out to the Cowboys creators. There's about 2 of them that are in my DMs every week at the moment. I'm in their heads rent free, so shout out to you. Because of that, go the Mighty Eels. We'll flog you this weekend, 50 points to 6. We'll put you on the list as well. We'll shame you, so suck shit. All the other 2 things.
You know, this is going to be shared to your page as well when I tag you in.
First try scorer.
Yeah, that's right. Bring it on. He'll be in the
first try scorer.
DMs. They'll start hot, the Cowboys. So I'll say Drinkwater will score the first try and get them all hot and heavy, and we'll just get 50 unanswered points. And the bold prediction
is 50 unanswered points.
It's 50 unanswered points.
But they do answer it because you said 50 to 6.
Yeah, but they score the first try, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drinkwater
And then from there. Sweet.
Yeah.
We just don't stop. Avalanche.
I'm
Take
going
that.
next. And I don't know what's in that beer behind you, but you got rocks in your head. I'm going to go
Said the thing.
Parramatta to win this game 24-20. My my first try scorer for the Cowboys, because I've got the Cowboys scoring the first try, and you'll see why soon. My first try scorer is, I'm looking through their team list. I know fuck all of their players. I'm going to go Dearden. Tom Dearden to slide straight through pretty easily early on. And my bold prediction is for the Cowboys to lead 20-0 and Parramatta to run them down.
Ooh.
Avalanche. I like it. Avalanche. That's actually good. It's good from him. He's much better in the comments, eh? Hayden?
Well, just remove me now if you want, because I haven't done it for a few weeks, but I'm not tipping it up there.
Week.
I tried to do it too.
All right, we'll go to you, Matt. Your bold prediction, your first try scorer, and
Yeah, it's
whatever
been a
else
while.
score.
I can't say Hopgood.
I can guarantee you've got the Cowboys on 14.
14-0 at halftime.
14-0 at halftime. Nah. The 14-point curse. I'm gonna go. I haven't tipped Parra, but as I say, can't go into Coles with a Woolies bag, so you can't tip against Parra on a Parra podcast. So I'm gonna go Parra 32-24. I'm gonna say first try scorer Talon De Silva. And I'm going to go bold prediction, Mitch Moses, 3 try assists and a try.
Take it. Troy?
Geez. Let's have some fun, eh? Let's have some fun. 42-20, Parramatta to win. Luca Moretti, first try scorer. Jack DeBellin to score a double.
Adam, what's the sports bet on that? Like, that's
I
ridiculous.
don't know.
Hey, it might happen. You never know.
That means DeBellin's got to run onto the ball.
Hey, stranger things have happened, all right?
Jack to ball and Hayden, Cowboys 34-16, first try. Can you say his name? No. What's his name?
It's Helam Lukey.
Oh, you're good at that
The
one.
assist. Thank you.
There you go. But Russell,
Hold up longer. I didn't see it.
There's a common theme on this podcast, and that theme is that the
Just
player
picking
that we
Hayden.
bag and talk shit about plays into form. So Sean Russell, you're going to
We
score
got a new
2
player.
tries this weekend.
We've got a new player.
Okay.
Who's
All
Russell?
right, thank you.
Because they watched the podcast, Hayden.
He says it.
We'll be blocked
he
after
says
this.
it. He says it like he says most of the names. If that's the point, Hayden, you're saying if we bag him out, I just like to bag out Jack DeBellin, Jack Williams, Kelma Talangi, Junior Paulo, Talon De Silva, Luca Moretti, Mitch Moses, Ron Hummond, Josh Adokar, Sean Russell, Brian Kelly, and Josh Hubley. You've all been useless, and you need to be better. Okay, so please be better. There you go, Hayden. It's magic. Jez, what do you got?
Look, I'm gonna go Parra to get a win just because we've all whinged about him.
He doesn't.
But it's
want
going to be
get
low
removed
scoring. It's going to be
himself.
hot. It's going to be 10-12 to Parra. First try scorer is going to be my man Mitch Moses. And bold
He's your man
prediction.
He's your man again. You hated him the other week, but he's your man again here.
Well, it turns out he's a nice person, so that helps.
Yeah.
Assumptions. You know what they say when you assume. But bold prediction. It's up in Townsville, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is
Maybe.
it humid up there?
Nah, not really.
Hayden's not
John's
going.
gonna
He
be
can't
closer.
say.
It seems like you're predicting it not to be.
It's cold as at the moment. I'm in me hoodie and stuff.
I was going to go with the water one.
He's a bit hot under the collar.
Yeah. All right.
I'm nervous.
3 sin bins, 2 Parra, 1 Cowboys.
And we're going to win
What?
still.
Yep.
Wow.
Three
Three
sin bins to
sin bins?
Para.
No.
What, do we
2
show some
Parra,
passion and
1
pride?
Cowboys.
Ah.
Oh,
Hashtag.
bit of brouhaha.
Yeah, it's going to
Oh,
be physical.
bring back the beer.
Yeah.
You got to step it up. Let's draw that multicultural round winner. There was 39 people entered. I've already put that in. We'll draw it now.
One bloke shared the podcast 14 times. That didn't mean 14 entries, did it?
No, definitely not.
No, I didn't star him
I'm
every time he
looking-
did it, but throughout the whole day,
It's
it was
actually-
fantastic. He shared
Big
it a
fan.
lot.
It's actually 39, and there's one comment there that shouldn't be there. Hang on, we'll go do this again because there's only
Hayden,
38
did you
people.
put shared?
No, that was mine. I got to change it.
His brother
Sorry.
did.
Someone's
There's
brother
a couple. There's a couple that have doubled it. Just
Mick
give me a
Mara.
sec. Fuck him off. He can't enter.
He's a viewer.
He's a flog.
Yeah.
Shout out,
Alright,
Mika.
What about Susan
only-
Martin? Mum wished us all the best. Can she enter?
No, she can't. All right, there's only 35 people, so let's just do this again because I can't get
Wow, you
39.
got rid of one.
Rid of 4.
Was it 39?
Yeah. All right, so 3.
That still
I think
said
fuck, it's
39.
up the top. I didn't. So it doesn't matter.
going
Number
on?
3 come out. Doesn't matter. All right, the winner is Rum.
Do I have to pronounce it?
Yep.
Oh, nah.
Go on.
We'll just let you. Oh, he's been around a
Oh,
while.
he's here anyway. There you go.
I am.
That's a very multicultural name, that one.
Remitten board deep.
He's
Message
going to
to
have
Pace
to reveal
Mr.
his
Paul
true
Smith.
identity. This is great.
He is gonna. Yeah, because he's changing. You can't claim that prize
Mm.
unless you turn around and give me your full name to send it to you. So.
Remedin Bowl Deep. You're going to have to give us your real name. Too bad if that actually is his name and we're just terrible people.
Ah, there we go.
What's
See,
his
your
name?
name is Ryan Madison. I'm in shock.
Oh, jeez.
Wasn't his name like D's saying about nuts or something the other week?
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, look at that one.
Hang on. Yeah, he was Willie Fisterbutt. That's right. It was
Yeah,
Willie
Fisterbutt. Willie
Jared.
Fisterbutt.
That guy in the comments, Jared Finch, he actually sent me 6 times saying Hamole Olika R2 so that I finally got it right because he was sick of the pronunciation.
Hang on, say it again.
Hamole Olika R2.
Mm.
Olika Watu.
Olika Watu, that's
Watu.
right. I did it right earlier, bro. I did it. Come on, I did it right earlier. I came on here. I took this shit seriously. I took Hamole.
This is. He's been practicing all week. This has been a long podcast, so we're going to do 5 questions. So quickly ask your questions. I saw a question earlier about Vegas. I'm not going to go back and get it up with my Coxlager here. And he wants to know if NRL have officially announced Vegas yet. No, they haven't announced Vegas yet. It's meant to be announced. Last year was announced after Magic Round, so we're expecting an announcement there. If you are interested in going to Vegas and you haven't messaged us yet, message the page and I'll turn around and add you to the group chat. We've got a group chat going. We've got a bit of a deals going. So,
If you want to pay for me to go, I'll get some knee pads out and do some silly things. Just message me.
By that, he means he'll do tiling for you. He'll tile,
Yes.
he'll tile your back, deck or
Tiling or
decking
carpeting.
anything. Yeah. And thoughts on the Swarm recently, Hayden?
I mean, look, the last 2 years we've introduced the Swarm as much as possible and build atmosphere at the games. There's been some games that we score points, get those good wins, but ultimately the fans themselves have been loud and proud, and we're happy for that. But there's obviously been some changes. You might have seen the vlog put out the other day, and I won't be drumming at the marches anymore because bias. But anyway, that's a separate story. As for the actual Swarm itself, guys, we have a ton of fun. Great atmosphere. Love meeting you guys. A couple of people asked for photos the other day, which is cool as well. But yeah, we do it all for fun at the end of the day. Me and Troy definitely entertained a few people the other day.
Yeah,
and
sure.
go and watch the vlog, as I did have a bit of response to the club, and I have not been contacted since. So
Do you get support by the club doing that, Hayden?
previously there was. Now it seems to be cropping me out of photos when people can send that to me saying you're cropped out of this lol. So that's what it's become.
Okay, cool.
Allegedly.
Club's cropping people out. Awesome.
Yeah, happy for you. What's doing at podcasts? What's doing at Magic Round with the podcast crew? Oh, Oscar, you can call me tomorrow and I'll tell you. But
Mine was
if
heaps
you're
better than
coming,
that.
what?
My question was heaps better than that.
Yeah, he doesn't pay us. This guy pays us.
Okay. Answer this one then.
What's the plan with the Magic Round Talking Parent League of Inches? So back to Oscars now. Oscar, proud sponsor, Euro work. Well, I'll be there all weekend. So will Hayden, so will Troy, so will Joel. Are you there all weekend, Joel? Yeah, you are, because you're sitting with me.
Yeah.
Joel's got an event on Sunday that I'll be making an appearance at, as we mentioned earlier. Tickets for $22. Oscar, if you want to come, I'll buy you a ticket, mate. So message me. We'll make that happen. Joel, I need a free ticket.
I was going to say, with his sponsor money.
Yeah, with his sponsor money. Yeah. And Saturday night we'll be doing. I'll announce it now. We've got a few plans to do, but I'll chuck some cash over the bar. Sorry, Oscar, you'll chuck some cash over the bar that you've given to me that I'll put over the bar, and we'll be drinking some drinks on the Saturday night at Caxton Street Brewery. So all in the plans there, all happening. A question for you from Kat Stevens here. Yep.
Sorry, just quickly on that, I've also got, if you want to go check out the Instagram story, I've got a link at the moment to straight to, if you want to get some tickets, if anyone in the comments wants to book in. They are selling pretty quickly, and it's a limited spot to about 60 to 65 people. So get in quick, don't wait.
Yep, he sold 6. So it's still 50. No, he hasn't. He sold heaps. So I'll share that.
No, I've like about 40 or so already, I think. It's been out for about a week, if that. So
I actually think I shared
Not
the
many
video
left.
for one. Yeah, I've already shared it. It's actually on our story as well, 10 hours ago. So is Joel going to sign with Talking Parra? Joel, we don't have collared shirts.
Looking at me.
Surely his
But I
manager
don't
will
know.
be in contact. This doesn't happen on air.
No, we have to do some behind the scenes talking, I think. I think what got me tonight was the public reaction. I asked for 1 like and I got 10. So I almost said that was too many. I didn't want to come on. I was a bit feeling overwhelmed. The old crew got me, I tell you. It felt good to come back in and have a chat to all you boys. So that was good. I won't say no to it because things have
the other blokes
actually
are a bunch of
changed for
flogs,
me
eh?
this year. Yeah. Things have changed for me this year. I originally said no. We actually spoke, me and Adam, behind the scenes, not to say too much about coming back this year originally, but I said no because I had the Supercoach podcast at the time, which was getting recorded on a Tuesday, and it was about an hour and a half podcast. That's changed now. I only do a live show before about 7:30 with Isaac to just talk about some NRL news. So who knows if the missus says it's okay, because most of the time the little ones are asleep by now. Maybe. See what the people want. See what the Talking Parra community want.
Yeah.
Sounds like
we're always. Yeah, we're like the Australian cricket team. We like to rotate our people. So there's always opportunity for someone to get rotated in. So a rotation policy works so well for them. This one's here that Andy Bowen. I'm going to make you a little bit of a promise here, Andy. Now you spoke about getting engaged in 2028. I'm going to make you a promise, and a very big promise. If you and Manea get to Vegas and you agree to let me marry you in Vegas at a thing, right? I'll put money on the bar that night for your wedding reception. All right. So if you let me marry you in Vegas, Andy, the drinks are on me that night, on the Friday night in Vegas. So get to Vegas.
Are you going to be dressed
All right.
as Elvis or?
I'm going to be in the fucking cheerleader outfit.
Yeah.
I kept it for a reason. Come on. There's no other good questions anywhere, is there? Your podcast, then come on Adam's one. Yeah, there you go. Khalid says pretty simple for you, Joel. All right.
A couple of comments have mentioned when we mentioned Caxton before. It's not the Caxton, it is Caxton Street Brewing Co., which is on the top where when you're on the Caxton Street, it's at the top where the lights are and stuff. So just don't go to the wrong venue, please. you won't see us there.
Across from the Lord Alfred, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, he's been there for quite a while now. It's been about 6 places in 6 years of Magic Round, but he's been there for quite a while. So good to see. We'll be in there. Look, I think that's it.
Andy's got nothing to say.
Doesn't know what to say.
No, he doesn't know what to
Just
say.
say yes. Just say yes, baby, and hope she says yes as well, and then we'll make it happen. I didn't get to get married at Combank, so I've got to make someone's dreams come true. And Troy will even wear that jacket, even though Troy won't be able to come. So that's it. That's all we've got time for. It's been fun. It's gone for an hour and 40 minutes. This is just like the good old days where we spoke shit and didn't care what we wanted to say. Good night and see you next Tuesday.